Welcome back to the Wreckless podcast. Today here, we're about ready to drink a little cocktail and some Whistle Pig. Here's the cool thing is I know a little bit about this product, and let's talk about this cocktail first. What you've been gracing us. You talk about all this bartending, so we decided to drink one of these before we dug into the Whistle Pig. What'd you make for us, man?
Yeah, so I made a cocktail, and this cocktail is inspired by an old-fashioned and a Manhattan put together, and that is why it's called the Old-Fashioned Man. And so how I infused it together is I made a Carpano Antica sweet vermouth syrup. And
that's pretty damn tasty.
Like I was telling you, you can make your own syrups behind the bar. You don't have to heat them. On this concept,
yeah, you do know that I'm going to play that over and over for my guys now. They're determined. They like go on my back wall and write shit up. I'm like, bro, I'm busy.
No, they can make it right behind the bar. And the cool thing is you take your favorite sweet vermouth. You use equal parts sweet vermouth, equal parts sugar. It'll take about half an hour for it to dissolve because there is an alcohol content.
Sure.
And so therefore it takes a little while for that sugar to dissolve. But half an hour. It'll be done half an hour. You just walk by, you shake it. You don't have to stir it the whole time. You know, you could do a lot while that's taken care of. So what I did here was I did 4 dashes of Angostura.
Wow.
Half an ounce of sweet vermouth syrup, a quarter ounce of Luxardo Maraschino liqueur, and 2 ounces of our Whistle Pig Rye 10-year.
Oh, man.
Well, and so the rye is dry. It really works well. The sweet vermouth syrup is extra sweet because you're not taking the sugar in the water, but you're taking sugar and sweet vermouth syrup, which is sweet in itself. So it works really well with the rye because it kind of levels it out. And I did an extra dash of Ango, but I love this cocktail.
Yeah, this is probably the smoothest version of anything over one glass ice ever, man.
Cheers,
salud, my friends. Yes, absolutely. Here you go. I'm getting old. That's what the grunt is. I should have drank this first, and I wouldn't be able to do that.
It's the crack in the crack.
So these are the 3 products.
I'm definitely not getting that tattooed anywhere. The crack in the crack, bro. That is not happening.
The Whistle Pig is just rye, you said? And it's 3.
We are all rye, all rye, all rye. And let me tell you this.
That's good, man. I like your reference there. Now it's gonna be stuck in my noggin for that.
It is, dude.
Tony,
Hashtag
what do you
all
think?
rye, all rye, all rye. And let me tell you, we have a 10-year, a 12-year, and a 15-year. So I get older, they stay the same age.
Yeah, it's not that he's practiced these lines at all. What do you think? Not at all.
Bartending, a lot of bartenders like to hold on to their secrets, hold on to their recipes.
Right.
I believe, man, share that stuff. I always make sure I email it to myself. So I'm like, hey, baby, I came up with that first. You know.
Right.
But I'm proud and happy that you're taking it and running with it and making it big because that's important. That's what we need to do is share. So I don't really hold anything back when it comes to cocktails.
I agree 100%, man. Recipes, I give them away. People are like, what do you mean? I'm like, here you go. You want to make it? Cool, go for it. I post them.
Awesome.
They're like, why? I'm like, well, we'll make something else. That's my job, right? My job's to come up with something else.
Something new.
If
Because
I came up with something great, cool, it's there now. It'll have to be something else next week.
That's right.
So, hey, on this one, I got to know. We got to dive into this Whistle Pig. By the way, the 10-year is delicious in this.
Oh, well, thank you.
What's the story? I know it's rye. I know.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, we just do one thing and we do it well. When you think about whiskey, sometimes you're starting to see it kind of do the same thing that vodka's doing, where it has all these different flavors.
That sounds like a dirty word, like the vodka's doing.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying when you see vodka, you see there's like 10 different flavors.
Yeah.
And there, it's still a vodka, but there's all these different flavors. A lot of companies are putting out whiskeys, and they have a bourbon, they have a rye, they have
right, everything
across the line. And when it comes to whiskey, we stay just on rye, and so that's why we do rye right. You know? And so hashtag rye right. So let me start with kind of
sure. Yeah, I want the history, man. I want to know what's up. Let's start at the beginning because I don't know anything. All I know is that it's really smooth product. I know that I enjoy drinking it, and besides that, it really fits into kind of like an everyday whiskey to me, everyday rye to me, and that's all I know. So why is that the case, man?
Well, so we had our founder, who is Raj Bakhtar, and he was like on the 2nd season of The Apprentice. He ran in politics. Neither one of those really worked out, so he's like, I'm just going to go buy this
whiskey.
That's right. I'm going to buy this dairy farm
I love it.
in Shoreham, Vermont.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to see where life takes me.
Be nice.
And so, he is out in the woods kind of contemplating life, trying to figure out, where am I going to go? Where am I going to do? I mean, I have time now. I have this whole farm. What am I going to do with it? And so he goes down this hike, and this crazy Frenchman on a bicycle comes riding down the hill.
That's every Frenchman, by the way.
And he stops the bike right in front of Raj, and he goes, could it be a Whistle Pig? And Raj is like, oh my God, the guy's hair's all crazy. I mean, just hurtled at him and started talking to him. And the guy goes, could it be a whistle pig? Whistle pig. And Raj just looked at him. I mean, blank stare in his face.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
and so the guy goes, oh, and rides off. Raj is like, you know what, man? That's a sign. Whatever I do, I'm gonna call it whistle pig. That's a sign. And so I think what the gentleman was talking about is a whistle pig is like a groundhog.
Right.
And so, from that, we became Whistle Pig. Raj teamed up with Dave Pickerel, who is the distilling god right now, really just tearing it up. We were the first company that he ended up teaming up with after he left Maker's Mark. And we've been on just a slide up all the way since. We have our 10-year, our 12-year, our 15-year. We have Farm Stock, which is killing it, and the Boss Hog, which everyone's in love with.
Yeah, the Boss Hog's delicious. So, but the Farm Stock, I remember trying that last time. Talk to me a little bit about that. We don't have it here today, but I mean, I tried it at at one of the events, the Orange Coast Magazine event.
Oh yeah.
Freaking delicious, man. What's the story behind that?
So now, so we were pretty much getting our juice from, we either get our juice from NGP or we get our juice from Canada.
Right.
Because, we had some problems with being able to distill in Shoreham, Vermont. Now those problems have gone. And so we're making our own juice.
Right.
And really what it comes down to is, are we going to say, hey, you guys have to wait for 10 years until we're ready for this to come out? Or do we make it a blend? And so we blend our own juice with our own distillate with different years from Canada and from NGP, and we call it Farm Stock. And so every year we have a new crop. Every year, as soon as that sells out, it's not going to come back around.
Right.
And so what it is you want to grab it. You want to get a hold of it and have all the bottles that are an expression, because every year will be dominantly more ours until it's 100% ours.
Right. That's the whole goal.
And to have that trail of us being able to accomplish our own spirit and really put something special out, it's awesome. And what we're doing with that is we're doing triple terroir. So we're doing our own water, our own rye, our own wood. And that's pretty awesome to go from we're buying distillate to now everything's from the farm, and we're doing it.
Who else is doing it out of Vermont, right? I mean, this is Tennessee whiskey. I mean, there's all kinds of whiskeys coming out all over, but Vermont I've never heard of anything big coming out of. Or am I just like the idiot that doesn't know?
No, you're probably right.
Is it a region that has a lot of distilleries?
No. So
it's totally isolated.
Corn does great in Kentucky.
Right. Exactly.
But rye does better where it's cold. Okay. And so that's why Canada is always known for like rye, even though their rye laws are kind of iffy. So rye
all laws are kind of iffy.
It's a brat grain. It grows where it's hard to grow. You could throw it on a rock and that rye will grow. So it's really it does better up in where it's colder and harder for it to nourish. It likes that.
So it's working out. How many acres are you guys having out there? Is it like
we have 500 acres?
Wow, man. And so just a little bit.
just a little baby farm.
Just a bit outside.
Yeah, but I mean, it's enough for us to be able to accomplish our goal and to really make something special and to do something great.
And traditionally, years on rye and whiskey mellow it out, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's traditionally like. I mean, obviously these are all finished different, so they're gonna have a different texture to it. But the longer it sits in the barrel, the mellower it is. I mean, you have Angel Share, but the alcohol and the fire kind of just mellow out.
Let me tell you, the finishes really do help too.
Oh,
that
of course.
12-year is so smooth, and it's a beautiful, beautiful spirit. I mean, the 12-year should be at every bar. The Farm Stock and 10-year are phenomenal. I love them.
Right.
The 15 years, perfect.
And I noticed you didn't bring any Boss Hog. We're gonna fight about that.
Well,
later.
you know what, man?
What
for
is Boss
you?
Hog?
I
brought a Boss Hog, brother.
Look at that. Well, we're gonna try it in this next one because I don't want to be only alone, but absolutely we're gonna.
What
go
is
for
Boss
it.
Hog?
Well,
I missed the boat.
Boss Hog's the big daddy.
Boss Hog is our big daddy, and this is a brand new Boss Hog. So we had.
Oh my!
And hey, well, since I'm giving the gifts now, I also brought some Whistle Pig maple syrup for you.
Oh, right on, right on. Look at this.
50 acres of maple trees.
2 new necklaces we're gonna get put on here. That's how that goes right now. So the cocktail's good. I didn't down mine because I want to enjoy it while we're going.
Holy shit.
And I want to understand kind of where each one of these fit into play with not only the booze itself, but how it blends. So I know this is the 10 in here.
Yeah. So our very first one will be our 10-year. Our 10-year
And that's what's blended in the cocktail
That is what's in the cocktail. And let me tell you, the 10-year is phenomenal for being able to make cocktails. One more thing I want to throw out about cocktails before we get into this is all your cocktails don't have to be the same price.
No. When did that happen? I'm glad you brought that up.
Dude.
I had somebody tell me this the other day. We don't do that here. I'm like, just price it for what it is, man.
Price it for what it is. You have people who want cheap drinks, who want people who want to spend a little more. Yeah, those people, they want to spend a lot.
And for all those people out there that don't know, that you don't know the restaurant business, this phenomenon came on a little while ago that every like you had a house cocktail menu and everything was $13 on that. And I was like, well, I've got some booze that I really love to put on a cocktail list that's $65, right? I mean, we did I did a Ghost and Rare smoked old fashioned when we first opened. It was $125, but it's a Ghost and Rare smoked old fashioned.
But you sold some.
We sold a bunch of them. We take it to the table, and I was like, man, and everybody's like, oh, that's expensive. I'm like, not for what you get, but it broke that like $12 genre.
And some people want to spend that money. I at Pelican Hill, I had a $125 margarita.
Yeah.
And we didn't sell it all the time, but we sold it.
Yeah,
we have those people that want that.
And it's worth it, right?
It is worth it.
I mean, I'm not going to sell you I'm not trying to knock Cuervo, but I'm not going to sell you a well tequila for $100. That's robbery.
No.
If somebody knows what they're doing, tells you it's a $100 drink, it's a freaking $100 drink.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
And I'm not saying a $100 drink is for everybody, but on the same sense, you can price you have multiple people as your clientele.
Yeah.
Don't discard those people and say, hey, guess what? All my cocktails are $13, and you just fall into that category. Too bad for you.
I agree, man. I have two $69 steaks just because I like the sound of that. 70 sounds a little weak, and 69 is just more fun. But I have I just had to go there. But the two $69 steaks, both of them were the same cut. One is aged, obviously. One starts at 4 months, but goes right now they're at 6 months, and the other one is at 45 days. Wow. Same exact steak.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, why do you do that? I'm like, well, the same steak. One's not 2 pounds because it dried, obviously, and it's a different ballgame. But one is for people who understand flavor and aging and structure, and the other one's for everybody to like. But they're the same cut. They cost me the exact same thing. One I had to age for 6 months to get it to do what it did. Yeah. So I agree with what you're saying. It's the same deal. I'm not going to charge you $100 for that steak. Same thing. Right, but that having that cost price point, and then I also have the tri-tips that run, the $23, and they're excellent. I know exactly where I get them from. They're double R, they're peeled, smoked, sous vide for 6 hours, butter poached. Right, I mean that same thing, but it's in a price range that's affordable.
What you're not buying the drink,
no,
you're buying the experience.
Right,
you're buying where you're drinking that at.
200%, and it's like it's
what it comes down to.
Yeah, same thing with everything else, man. It's a marketing value. It is what it is. If you appreciate it, you're going to appreciate the nuance of it.
Sure. As a bartender, though, how do you sell that and tell that story and create that environment so that somebody would go beyond what they normally would to try new cocktails, spend more money, do more things? It's not just upselling, but it's educational. How do you do that?
You challenge them and you excite them. Same thing like a chef would do on their menu. You say, this is something that you're not going to get to try anywhere else.
Absolutely.
This is something that's breaking all the barriers.
Right.
This is something that's interesting. And let me wrap it up in a beautiful bow. Let me sell it to you.
Yeah.
And watch all the eyes on the bar come straight to you as that drink.
Well, and the biggest thing is then you're right. Like then the other payoff for that is most people that have the knowledge, like especially with this, you get into it and you're talking about it and you can actually point out things to somebody who doesn't know or maybe not enjoy that, the nuances of that glass. By the time you're done, you actually taught them something and you were right.
Oh yeah,
and you're like, you know what I mean? Like I hate to say it, but that's part of it. Like people all the time go, "Is that good?" You're like, "No, man, that's dog shit." That's what I'm serving to you.
But most bartenders don't have that knowledge, right? So we need more education in bartenders.
We
right?
definitely need more education. We're trying to bring in the USBG to Orange County, trying to make this scene because in the sense like it comes down to community, it comes down to educating each other, it comes down to really bringing each other up, making each other understanding that it's not about you, it's about us as a whole. And as other people become bigger, and it may not be you that becomes big, we all get bigger.
Right.
We are as big as our biggest team player. We are as weak as our weakest link. So let's rise people up always. Let's make that weak link strong.
Sure.
Let's make that star as high up in the sky as we can get them. And it's great for us all. It doesn't matter who it is.
It makes our clientele all open, as we were talking before, to doing more things. Hey, so I just took a sip of this, man.
10 year.
Which I got to tell you, that 10 year.
So 10 year, 100 proof.
A little more fire. Yeah, salud, but damn.
Yeah, a little more fire, but it's 100 proof. Very smooth for 100 proof. Finished off in bourbon barrels. It's about 97 to 100% rye. Perfect for your cocktail.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
I mean,
that's
this is
a great base to lay anything on.
a
for
great
sure.
base. And even if you use an ounce of it,
Right.
just something really awesome to be able to put in your cocktail. And really, the high proof with something maybe a little bit lower proof really levels it out. But if you make an old fashioned with this, like the old fashioned man we just had, that was smooth.
Right.
Yeah. You would never know that was 100 proof. But this is our 100 proof, 10-year straight rye whiskey.
Bourbon barrels.
Yeah, bourbon barrels.
Nice, dude. Well, that's freaking delicious, dude, for sure. And these are all in the grocery stores, right? I mean, I'm not grocery, but
yeah.
Bevmo or you know what I mean.
Bevmo.
You can.
Yeah, Whistle Pig is killing it. You're not
Yeah.
going to have a hard time finding
Right.
You may not find it at your grocery store.
Right.
But Whistle Pig's everywhere.
You can get it, right? So we have some stuff on here that people can't get. So I like to make sure that the people watching can actually go and actually get these things,
Yeah.
not just it be the unicorn, which we do have the unicorn to try. but-
Unicorns are cool, but
Yeah.
we're going to get to a unicorn.
Absolutely.
But
Nice.
Whistle Pig right now is a very beloved brand. We're blessed.
Oh,
We
yeah.
have a great following.
well, you have a
Bartenders and
pig on your
community.
label. Let's be honest.
And what is that? Pigs?
Yeah, this guy pigs,
let's be
man.
honest, dude. I mean, pigs everywhere. Anytime you put
Oh,
a
yeah.
pig on something, you're winning, dude.
Yeah.
It's just how it
Oh
goes,
no,
bro.
totally.
Pigs are good.
Totally. And the pig is supposed to be like Winston Churchill.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. So it's a pimped out pig.
Yeah, he's a fat hog, dude.
out
I love
pig.
it.
Pimp
And then-
your pig.
So we're going to the 12 now, right?
We're gonna bust into the 12.
Okay, so talk
the
to me a
12
little about this.
12 is it's 86 proof. It's about 95% rye.
Okay.
It is finished off in Madeira, Sauterne, and port barrels, and it is something. It's special.
Yeah, that's a whole different finish on that one, man.
Oh, totally.
Definitely has that. You can taste the Madeira for sure.
Wow.
The Sauternes, I'm not getting crazy sweets, but I definitely take a little bit of mineral out of it. I mean, that's that really is delicious. And honestly, I'm not it needs to be 100 proof guy. I just like it for it to taste good, and I think this just tastes good.
Oh no,
right?
this is a perfect blend.
yeah.
And so they finished off the rye in Madeira, Sauterne, and port, blended it together, and it is it's
And
spectacular.
are those barrels from a specific place, or are they just in general ones you got that had Madeira?
It
or-
just had Madeira, Sauterne,
Cool,
and port.
cool.
I'm sure it is from a special
Yeah.
place, but that's
Whatever. Yeah.
above my pay grade.
Yeah, that's you're like they don't give me that info. I'm just letting you know.
Well, I mean, I think sometimes that's something that
Right.
people want to keep private too.
Oh, of course. I'm just wondering because sometimes people brag about it or don't or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear everything, so I have no idea. I think that's cool that you guys even use them all or collect them. I know that port barrels I know that they're harder to get, just because there's less people producing port in the world.
No.
And definitely when they're done with their barrels, nobody really uses them for a whole lot. I've heard of beer going in it, but this sitting in it definitely pays off.
But let me state that it's
That'll put
something-
hair in your teeth, man.
it is
good
something
stuff,
that you want to have on a special occasion after
Sure.
dinner with a nice cigar. It is something very, very special. If you haven't had the 12 year, you have to try it.
Yeah, that's damn tasty. And it's definitely different than the 10. It's not just aged another 2 years.
Oh no,
That's a
and-
whole different
and-
ball game.
And everything you're going to see is very, very different than
Cool.
the other. Because why put out two things that are the same?
Well, people do
That's
that though. I mean, there's lines of whiskeys and bourbons that literally just have age. They're a little smoother, a little sweeter. That is some people pride themselves on it. It's interesting to see that this is different. I can still taste the backbone of the juice you're using for sure, but that's a whole different ballgame.
well, thank you.
Right on. All right.
So we're busting on our 15.
All right, dude.
Our 15 is 92 proof. It is
Quinceaños.
100% rye, and it's finished off in Vermont oak. So Vermont oak, again, it's very tight. It's 26 rings per inch.
Right.
It is rings are where you're going to get all your flavor from. It is extremely. If you're a rye lover, you're going to love
really
that
smooth.
rye. So
I'm
Easy to
getting
drink.
a lot of like vanilla out of that, a lot of kind of dessert notes without it being sweet, of course, but just dessert notes, kind of like the toasted. I get a toasted flavor out of it. That may be because it's chasing everything else, but that's delicious, man.
That would go
No,
great with French toast, man,
it would.
for breakfast.
It would. And speaking of French toast,
Wow.
we have maple syrup.
I like it, man.
No, it's Whistle Pig's always putting something cool out.
So now, to be honest, those are all delicious, and your whole lineup is delicious. And you're saying that where would you say that the field stock, right? The one we didn't have that you said is allocated here?
No, the farm stock.
Farm stock.
And so the farm stock is it's a blend, but it's
Right.
really cool story of us progressively becoming something that's going to be creating our own juice, doing it in a way that we're using our own water, our own rye,
Sure.
our own wood, It every year, once it's gone, it's gone. It's a limited edition.
Sure, but it's not trying to be something else. It's its own entity on top
No,
of
it's
these.
its own entity.
Okay.
It's very,
Cool.
very different.
Cool. So if you see it, grab it because you never know, really.
Let me tell you,
it's a
if you
shot in
see
the
it,
park.
grab it, hold on to it. We are only on Farm Stock 2 right now. You
Right.
can still get Farm Stock 1 out there. If you can get Farm Stock 1, grab a bottle of Farm Stock 2. Next year, we'll have Farm Stock 3.
Right.
And every year, progressively, you'll get to have that expression of us becoming our own. And those, I guarantee you, are going to become unicorns.
Oh, of course.
They're going to become unicorns.
Once you can't do something twice,
yeah.
that's it.
It's special.
right? There's nothing you can do.
And-
I mean, no matter what, that's just how it goes.
And
Speaking of that, so this is Boss Hog. What's the difference here? And I know it's a huge leap from the others.
So Boss Hog, really what it is, it's kind of like our expression of vintage. We're not allowed to call it vintage. Vintage is controlled by wine.
Right.
We've been putting this out about every 2 years on a regular basis. It's always different. So it's always something very unique. It's amazing. It's something that's very sought after.
Right.
Boss Hog comes out, man, your phone just doesn't stop going.
Right.
Emails, phone calls, everybody wants it. It's amazing. So our story is that we had 2 pigs. It's the love between Mortimer and Mauve.
Okay.
And so Mortimer passed a long time ago, and it was our very first special topper that we had, and we called it the Spirit of Mortimer. And since then, we've had a couple more Boss Hogs, but now we're on the Spirit of Mauve because Mauve just passed on Valentine's Day. So now the 2 loves are together. The whiskey that we lose is now called the Pig's Share.
I love it, dude.
They're
I
up
love
in the
that.
clouds enjoying their whiskey.
I love it.
And Mauve is missed. And so this is the Spirit of Mauve. It's finished in Calvados barrels.
Wow.
It is amazing.
But Calvados, I love Calvados.
How do you?
Apple liqueur, man. I have a friend of mine who's straight from Germany, and he every year I do his 4th of July party, and he always brings out just a taste of Calvados that's straight from like 40 years ago, 50 years ago, that he only brings to me like this one little glass, and that's like my treat of the whole day is to have Calvados while I'm cooking for these guys. It's awesome, man.
Ah, nice.
If you've had real Calvados, because there's fake, there's apple infused, there's whatever. This was like, it's like apple moonshine, and so I'm intrigued.
No, it's something special. Let's do a cheers to Mauve.
Ooh, here's the Mauve.
May Mauve and Mortimer live happily ever after up in the clouds.
And to the pig share.
And to the Pig's Share.
Out and down. Salud.
Oink oink.
That is damn tasty.
And that is barrel strength.
Yeah, that is delicious, as I would say. That is damn tasty, man.
So it's the Boss Hog is something always special. It is limited as well.
Strong.
We put a new one out consistently every 2 years. We're not locking down any dates or anything, but it's something you always want to grab.
Totally.
It's definitely one of those things that are a unicorn that's harder to get your hands on.
Unicorn.
And just, it's something you always want to be able to try.
Well, I'm stoked you brought it, man. And I was gonna really make fun of you if you didn't, because I was like, come on now, we gotta try that. We gotta try the man. We gotta be the one, dude.
Yeah.
But you pulled through, dude. You
Thank
pulled
you.
through with all of them, and everything you brought was delicious.
Thank
and,
you.
and your stories have been fantastic, man.
Let me throw one thing out before
Sure.
we go.
Right.
If you're a bartender, please come join us for our USBG meetings.
Absolutely.
United States Bartenders Guild. We've actually become in the process of becoming an official chapter right now. We've got our numbers. We're starting to kill it. And it's every month we're getting new people. This is a way for you to become educated, to interact with other bartenders, to really get the opportunity to showcase at these events that Cody and I are both working. If you want to become something big, if you want your name to get out there, you need to be a part of the United States Bartenders Guild. And this is bringing a national spotlight to Orange County because there's 70 other chapters.
Oh, right.
And it's a big organization. We're part of the IBA, which is even big as well.
Right. And you guys are really doing great things.
Thank you.
I mean, bottom line,
Thank you.
what's coming down the pipeline right now is really impressive, and I appreciate all of it. Not just spirit. I mean, there's a lot of cool things coming out of here that I'm not seeing in other cities and other places, and I'm proud to be a part of.
I get stuff from LA and San Diego all the time going, man, you guys are doing really good. And that tickles my heart.
Absolutely.
If you would like to follow me on social media, the bar host, you can find me on Instagram, Facebook. I can't get my Twitter account back, man. I locked out.
That's all right. Nobody twats anyway, dude.
That's nobody. And I don't think anybody's.
And then Alan, what's your Instagram?
At culinary photographer. If you are not killing it with your images or your video, I can help you.
That was the promotion of the lifetime.
That photographer will travel, right?
Yep.
No, you need
And
to.
then as always, you guys are more than welcome to hit me up in any way, shape, or form for any more information at Chef Cody Storts, and of course,
Wreckless.
subscribe. Wreckless podcast.
Wreckless.
Out.